have developed service, we have exposed multiple entities, but how do I now test the CRUD queue operation here? How do I test them? So like last time when we built a service using the VS Code environment, it was running on my local machine, local computer, and I was able to quite easily test it. But how do I now go ahead and test my service? How exactly? What do we do? So of course, the question is we cannot test it with the help of, it's not possible to test this service with the help of the Postman tool, because our Postman tool will not support it, because this service is running on bash locally. Yeah. So if I take this URL and try to test it with the Postman, it will not work. So let me just go to Postman tool, and I will try to test. Let's say I want to test post call. Yeah. To insert data. So this is our Anubhav BTP training where we tested already our previous calls, you see, with localhost 4004. Yes. Everything we were testing locally. Yes. But now if I want to test a call, get call, for example, I duplicate, come down. So this one will fail, bash service test. So I'm trying to test now my catalog service, which is in the bash. You see, this is the bash URL, and we just go and try to hit this entity set. It will fail. Why? Why it will fail? For same reasons, simple reasons, guys. It will fail because you will see it is failing. It's not giving any response. Why? Why is that failing? You see, unauthorized. So first of all, it's giving unauthorized. That's okay, but we cannot easily test it. We cannot easily. Of course, we need to do maybe something to test this, but at the moment we cannot. Even in fact, we can just try to access catalog service metadata also. We cannot, because it's running on locally within the bash. It's running locally within the bash environment. So what do I do? In this situation, we can quickly create something called a test file directly within the project. Yes. Yes, of course, you need to first deploy and test, but during development, you are making hundreds of correction within a very short span of time. Yes. You're doing so many corrections. So every time deployment is going to take time. Yes. You make a small change. Yeah. Just a label change. Then you deploy. Small change, deploy. See how much time you will spend in deploy. Yes. It's going to be expensive, very, very expensive for you. It's going to be time taking so much. Yes. So that is the reason we don't want to waste so much of time or deploying again and again and again and again for every small change for testing purpose. So that's why we can create a file for tester. There's another question here from Vijaya. Why we have V2 and V4? That's an advancement of technology, Vijaya, because Microsoft, OData is a Microsoft protocol, and Microsoft is enhancing the the functionality of OData. So like first of all, Maruti have come up with Maruti 800. Then Maruti have come up Maruti, Baleno, or sorry, Swift. After the Swift, they come up with Baleno. Yes, Bizarra. Yes, so they're improving the technology, right? Similarly, Microsoft is also improving the technology. OData V2, V3, V4. V4 is the latest. So when we use CAP framework, V4 is by default the standard. But still we need backward compatibility for the same reason, like a Fury app to consume. So then we can use the V2 adapter proxy. Yeah, that's the reason. Okay, so coming back to the main topic, I wanted to go ahead and test our HTML, our service calls. So watch out, how do you do that quite easily without deployment of again and again. You can create a new file called tester. You can keep any name, yeah, up to you, you can say spiderman.http, yeah, but it should be extension .http file. Yes, and your server must be running at the bottom. And now we can just go ahead and test all our calls. So one more interesting thing, the moment I will make a call, you will see it will print the log. It will log that call at the bottom in the console. That logging is free. Yeah, system also does the logging for us. Cool. So let's test our first call. I say get, and I'm going to now paste my URL. of my catalog service slash dollar metadata, or let's just see the document. So you see there's a button called send request which comes automatic. I click on that and voila, you can see, oops, we are not getting response. There's something wrong. Strict transport security, max age, something it's giving unauthorized. What's giving me unauthorized? Let me just check. Ideally, it should at least work here. It should at least work here. I understood. So here, don't use this path. Use localhost and the port number which BAS have given you. So when you started, BAS have given a port number 4004. So we should use that. So now we are within the BAS. Yeah, we are within the BAS, and here we can do the local host. But if you try to even do local host in the Postman, it will fail. Yeah, it will fail here. You see, it is failing. Error. Yes. So, but here in the BAS, since you are within the BAS, since you're already in the cloud, you are already in the BAS, this will work here. So I run. So it should be catalog service. I think I'm doing a typo. Need to be careful here. Let's give it a try. So it's saying an error. Why? Localhost 4004. Okay, port number is HTTP, not HTTPS. Yeah, my bad. Call again. Yes, there you go. You see, it's working. It's working. But if you try to test it from your local computer, Postman, it will not work, of course. It will not work. Yeah, because it's running in the BAS at the moment. Application is not deployed yet in the cloud. So it's within the BAS. So as a developer, this approach helps you a lot, especially from the testing standpoint of view. So my training is not just about teaching you, but also teaching you best practices and things which will save your time as a developer. Okay, let's check the metadata. So you need to put triple hash here. Yes, after that next call you have to put. So I want to read service metadata. That's our service slash dollar metadata. Then I wanted to get employee top two employees. So slash employee set question mark dollar top equal to 2. Yes. Let's call this. So first one metadata call. You see metadata is loading for OData. Next is top two employees. Yes, you can see top two employees are loading. Yes, in the output. Cool. Then next is I wanted to create a new employee. So let me just take an existing employee data as a reference payload for service. And I say post call. Create new employee. So we're going to pass here the call to employee set. And we're going to say this is going to be a post call, please. Yes, I want to post the data. The content which I'm passing will be of JSON type. And I will pass my JSON over here. So complete JSON we will pass over here, whatever JSON is. Yes. And in this make a small tweaks. So let me put this ID as 8E8DB, something like this, just ID. And I will put name Ananya Biswas, female, English, EY, username, salary, some number, bank ID. Okay, cool. So this is our data, our sample data. I save. Now watch out. I will trigger the request and a new employee should create. So we can say send, and you see it's giving me an error. Localhost is not an entities, a singleton or action. Why it's giving me this error? So it should be a post request on our catalog service. Oh, sorry, my bad, typo guys. Employee set it should be. Yes. Okay, let's try again. And you see deserialization error, invalid value 12100358, JavaScript string for bank ID. So bank ID what we're passing is not correct. Yeah. Yes. Must not be longer than maximum value 8 character is allowed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I need to remove one. Yeah. Okay. Let's try again. And now there's another problem with email. So you remember we had put in a format for email. Exactly. So that format is being validated now. Though it's a correct email, I think the regular expression which I put in the system, which I copied from Google, is not correct. It's not correctly validating. Yeah. However, let's give it a try with a different value expression. So maybe the regex which we got for valid email, it was not correct from Google. So I need to get a regular expression correctly for email. Yes. Just take this guy and replace my regular expression, which we did here in the commons file, in the DB commons. Here we did regex for email. You see, this was the regex for email. This one is not correct. So we need to replace it, the assert format. So that's the another regular expression now I had put. Yes. Okay. So we need to just redeploy. And we need to say CDS watch, deploy and watch again. Okay. So I deploy and watch again. And now let me go back and test again my call. And voila, this time you see our regular expression worked correctly and it has inserted the data in the database. Cool. So a new customer, new employee got created in my team. So if I just go and check here / employee set, and I will also pass / its ID. So this was the ID of the employee which we created, right? So let's check that if it got created or not. Enter, and yes, you see this employee is created now in this system. So let's do the get. So we're going to get the employee which was created. So employee set / I'm sorry, again we need to use localhost. Yes. With HTTP port number. So this is the employee which we created is I'm able to get again. So that is how we can read the data. Now you can make this call again with the get for the OData v2. But let's also try to change the data. So we will pass a patch request to update the salary of an employee. So let's patch. So I want to show the patch. So I wanted to update employee salary. So we're going to fire a patch request on my employee set with the employee ID in the system, and we are going to pass the payload. So first we need to say content type application / JSON, and then we need to come and pass here the employee salary amount, and let me make employee salary 1 million plus. So one, yes, this is the salary, new salary for Ananya, and I'm going to say currency code. So you see currency code, C capital, C small. Yes, and I'll just change it to euro. So let's now see. So it's US dollar 95. So I'm going to send a patch request. Patch is successful, and you see the new salary is 1.2 million for euros for Ananya.